Shalom, Israel. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BASHAM, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who teach and rule well at great millstone, and peace and salutations and peace and mercy to the prophets, the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and to the men and women of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom. I'll title this one, They Have Taken Crafty Counsel Against Thy People. You see, Idumea, Esau, Edom, the red people, the so-called Caucasian white folks, you know, and these other nations, they have came together and they have taken a crafty counsel. They have consulted together, and going back to the our forefathers and throughout the times, the history, they have tried to figure out how to get rid of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. They've did all the councils together to try to figure out how can we get rid of these people. But through the power and the spirit of the Lord, YAHAWAHSHI, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, the Son, you know, we're still here. We're still here. And all the nations, they dress like Jacob, Israel. They talk like Israel. They want to be like Israel. The most influential people in the world, without a question. Now, Joe Biden, they got this climate summit coming up. I think, what is it, November? The climate summit that they got, and he's trying to save, I think he put what, like $2.3 billion, $3 billion or something into this climate change. This climate change is to try to figure out how to exterminate Jake. Let me get a quick article real quick. I'm not going to read this whole article. I just want to get the quick facts out of it, the quick meat. But, Esau, these so-called white folks, they're trying to save the world. And then on top of that, they're trying to eliminate Jake. And ultimately, they're trying to eliminate this word. The men of the Lord bringing out the truth. That's uncovering these white folks' secret in these other nations, these Hamitic and Elamites, the Arabics, and these other nations, uncovering their secrets through the scriptures, you see. And they don't want that. That's why they're removing this truth off of the internet, because through the Lord said, I will consume them with the spirit of my mouth, and the spirit, roughly paraphrasing it, but the spirit of his mouth is the men of the Lord speaking his word day and night. You see, he said, give them no rest day and night until they make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. And Jerusalem is a people before a place called Haloyimlah, Yahawah by Yahawashi. But it says, I'll read, this is CNN. This is what, like a month ago? It says, this is CNN. It says Biden is running out of time to lead on climate. It says, It said the northern hemisphere is sweltering in a miserable vision of future life seared by climate change, just at the moment when political momentum for aggressive world-leading action by the United States has gone cold. It says, yet President Joe Biden, who came to office vowing to save the planet. It says, yet President Joe Biden, who came to office vowing to save the planet. I'm just cut to the scriptures. I don't want to make this too long, but that's what he's trying to do. Is, you know, these Edomites are trying to save the planet. So let me go to Psalm 83, and you have the summit meeting, and you have the UN meeting, the EU meetings, and you so-called Negroes. You so-called Negroes are not at these meetings. You have all the other nations, but you Negroes, you Latinos, and Native American Indians, you're not at these EU meetings. You're not sitting at the tables or in those summits. You're not in there. But this is thus said the Lord. Psalm 83, and it reads, keep not thou silent, O YAHAWAH, YAHAWAHSHI. Hold not thy peace. Be not still, O YAHAWAH, YAHAWAHSHI. 2. For lo, thine enemies, everybody got enemies. Even the cat got enemies. Do you see the mouse hanging out with the cat? Do you see the lion hanging out with the deer? For lo, thine enemies make atonement, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. All these other nations, they look down on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. That's why they can come from other countries and different places, and they come here and they were not born here. But you'll have a family come from India, come here to America, and you got Jake that's born and raised here in America, struggling, and then that family from India will come over here to this country, don't know a lick of English, and within 1 year they own a store. Their kids are going to the best colleges, and they're living great. While Jake and his family and his mom and dad and grandmother been living over here for moons and struggling, and still live in the projects, or just upgraded to a 2-bedroom apartment. You see, mom and dad been working over here for the past 30, 40 years, slaving, and barely got a new Toyota. 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. That's what they do, going into these summits and to these EU meetings and the UN meetings. They're taking crafty counsel. What did he say? They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. You see, and Jake don't know who they are. Jake claimed that they from Africa. Okay, you're from Africa. Where at in Africa? Africa's a big country. I don't know. Africa, Jake don't know where they from, man. Jake, think of that black history, that slave, showing all those pictures of slavery, and, no, we are the people of the Lord. We come from royalty. The Lord told you in Deuteronomy 28, the 28th chapter, if you hearken and do my law, statutes, and commandments, I will put you above all nations of the earth. But our forefathers didn't do that. So we went off and the Lord said, I'm going to curse your children from generation to generation. And this is why we got it hard. And our enemies, they know that. But Jake, don't you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, y'all don't, you don't know. You don't know because you're cursed. The Lord put that curse on you. But these curses is coming off of Jake, and they're going on to these other nations and ultimately to Esau, Edom. That's why they fighting against each other right now over there in Ukraine and Russia and Israel, and they are fighting amongst each other. They gonna fight. The Lord is taking the curses off of Jake, man, and putting them on these other nations, and ultimately Esau, Edom, these so-called white folks. You see? It says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. 5, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And the Lord told you too in Leviticus, he told you, you don't hearken unto me, you're going to be ruled over by those that hate you. Well, you know, I got a good job. Ruled over by those that hate you. You take it how you want to. Ain't no democracy over here for Jake. That's why your kids get constantly gunned down. You know, they get the worst jobs. First to get fired, last to get hired. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. 6, the tabernacles of Edom, these so-called Caucasian white folks, the red people, Idumea, and the Ishmaelites, the Arabics. You see? Moab, the Hagarenes, you know, the white, all these nations, the white folks, so-called white folks, the Arabics, the Chinese, the Hamitic, you know, the Hamitic tribe, Hamitics, the Hamites. It says Jebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. You see? All these nations, man. Those small hats, the Amalek, the ones that's over there in Israel, claiming to be the people, but it ain't no peace in that land. They're in full-blown war. And the Lord is going to, like he said, I'm going to shake my hand over that land. And that land is going to be burned up through thermonuclear fire. You see? Because that's not the people of the Lord. Otherwise, it would be peace over there. There's no peace. Let's go to Psalm 33 and 10. Let's go to Psalm 33 and 10. I don't want to make this too long. Just a quick hit through the power and spirit of YAHAWAHSHI. Call Halayim La, Yahawah by Shem YAHWAHSHI. Call Halayim La, Yahawah by Hashem YAHWAHSHI. You see, this truth is, there's nothing nobody can do about this truth. There's nothing. This truth is going to reign through. Every word of this book the Lord meant, man. I don't care what these people are trying to do. That Joe Biden is trying to save the planet. That's not what the Lord said. That's not what the Lord said. Psalm 33 and 10. And all these prophecies is coming to pass. All of them. All of them is inevitable. And those that ignore it, you're going to die in your ignorance too. Psalm 33 and 10, and it reads, the Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. The Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. Everything that Esau is trying to do, these white folks with this, trying to force people with their Beetlejuice and these sea tests and this chocolate chip, this technology that they're trying to put into you, setting up all this space force and this new world agenda, all this stuff that he got going on. Esau it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. He's in a complete trick bag. Let's go to Isaiah 13 and 11. Isaiah 13 and 11. Isaiah 13 and 11. Because President Joe Biden, he said that he's trying to save the world, right? Isaiah 13 and 11. And it reads, and I will punish the world. The Lord said, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. You see? And if we talk about the wicked, he tell you who the wicked is in Job 9, Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. The Lord said he's going to punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. You see, we see who's in control and who dictates policy and controls the schools, the businesses. Esau, Edom, these so-called white folks, without a question. Let's go to Isaiah 24. Isaiah 24 and Isaiah 24 and 5. Isaiah 24 and 5. That Joe Biden wants to save the world. That's what Esau's trying to do. He's doing everything he can to stay in rulership, but it's inevitable because the Lord's going to destroy this place. It says Isaiah 24 and 5, and it reads, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. This place is filthy because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinances, broken the everlasting covenant. 6, therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned. The Lord's gonna see, he's gonna use fire in this time. In that time of Noah, he used water to flood the earth. This time in his second coming, he's using fire. He's gonna use a fervent heat, and it's gonna melt everything that's on this planet. He's gonna melt it down. Baked chicken. It's like putting a candy bar in an oven. Putting a piece of cake in the oven and just letting it melt. Let me go to Revelation. I'll close out with this. Revelation 11 and 18. Call Allah Yimla, YAHAWAHSHI. See, Esau and them, they don't want this truth to come out, but they no matter what they do, they can't stop it. They cannot stop this truth. No matter how much people deny it and don't want to hear it, oh, this is gonna happen. Thus said the Lord. 11 and Revelation 11 and 18, and it reads, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets. You see, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, Yahawah, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI. small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Shalom.